What's up everybody, Mr. G Ranger here. Going to talk to you about how the government attitude towards the Indians changed from 1876. So since the permanent Indian frontier was set up around 1834, government attitudes towards the Plains Indians had changed. Sometimes government policy was most influenced by those who wanted the Indian threat to be exterminated, like the buffalo. For example, after the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876. At other times, the government was influenced by those who believed Indians could assimilate into American society given time. The government had chosen a policy of reservations for the Plains Indians in order to keep Indians away from white settlers. The reservations had been set up and were protected by US law through treaties. The treaties were signed by chiefs as representatives of the Indian tribes. By the late 1880s, much had changed. The economic base of the Indian way of life had been destroyed by unsustainably sized reservations and with very few animals left to hunt after the destruction of the buffalo. Also, the political power of the chiefs to govern their people had been removed. Indians' own beliefs were also suppressed in favour of instruction about Christianity, and Indian children were educated off-reservation in civilized behaviour. But despite all of these incentives for Indians to become civilized farmers, most Indians seemed to sink into poverty and sickness, surviving on government handouts. To many would-be settlers, this seemed unfair. Why, they asked, did the Indians still have land that they were not using profitably? So the government decided that the reservation system was causing the problem. Indians still lived as part of a tribe, not as individuals. Although the chiefs had no political power, their people still looked up to them. The chiefs only wanted things to go back to how they had been, which made them resist any further treaty changes. The tribes shared work and food between them instead of competing against each other to have the best land, make the most money, and own the most things. Eventually, this led to the Dawes Act of 1887, which broke up the reservations even further. Basically, it was like a Homestead Act for Indians. And that's that. As you can see, the government policy, the government attitude towards the Native Americans changed over the whole course of our period, going from trying to live alongside them to putting them into reservations, and then eventually to trying to make them assimilate, to join in with white American society. It's worth going back over all of the government policy towards the Indians and making a timeline to show these changes. So that's all for now. Until next time, I hope Wakantanka is always with you.